What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuned in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it with a brand new episode. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing fantastic, man. Took a little vacation, some time off down in PR. You know, did my thing, ate some great food. Looking forward to going back.
Yeah, that's the hard part, man. Coming back from vacation is always tough.
Yeah, when you come that first few days you come back, you don't want to do nothing. You're just like, well, he's like, why am I here, man? Why did I just come back? What is life?
What are we doing with ourselves here?
Yeah, definitely makes you reevaluate things. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Yeah, just got back from a short trip down to North Carolina. We had to hop right back into it today, you know?
Oh, yeah. As I said, it makes sometimes you're just like, man, I wish I could either freeze time or hit the lotto so I ain't got to work.
The whole going back to work thing is not enjoyable. But that's what we got to do.
I said, let's hit the lotto, rob some banks. Robbing banks is not a good sport, a good profession right now.
No, it is not.
So, I mean, let's get right to it, man. Let's get to it, man. We got the NBA Finals in full effect. So far, the series is tied 1-1. Celtics versus the Warriors. How you feeling about your team, man? You guys took one at Golden State, did what you need to do. How you feeling about them?
I feel pretty good. I mean, they got some stuff to clean up still. You know, it's kind of been a theme this entire playoffs. The turnovers. You know, when they have more than 15 turnovers, they just get, you know, run out of the building essentially. I think under 15 turnovers, they haven't lost a game yet. So you can see it when they're playing. You got to keep the turnovers down. You can't give Golden State extra possessions, obviously, with the way that they shoot the ball. I think getting that split was huge. Getting the game one win, you know, against a pretty proven championship team was a big confidence booster for the Celtics. And even when, you know, getting that win when Jason Tatum didn't play his best was huge for them. So, yeah, coming back to Boston, you know, we talked a little about it today. You know, I think it's nice to get two. Definitely got to get the split, though, you know. And then, yeah, I mean, I feel pretty good about them right now. You know, the Golden State just in general scares me, the way that they can get hot. You saw it last night. I mean, they were just cruising, hitting 3-pointers in that third quarter. Really took over the game. And then you got Draymond mucking it up with everybody. You know, he probably should have been ejected. I think regular season game he probably gets ejected. I don't really care for, you know, them doing the nonsense double technicals in the playoffs, so I didn't mind it. But yeah, I mean, he seems like getting away with a lot. He was a little, you know, proud of himself after the game, you know, bragging about how he gets the calls because he's been there before. He's a champion. So I would expect that we're going to probably see 2 quick fouls on Draymond on Wednesday night.
Oh yeah. I don't think the NBA refs are going to take kind to that.
No.
I mean, you guys got a chance. I mean, you guys did what you needed to do. Now you guys pretty much got home court. I mean, these next 2 games are going to be very important for you guys. Like I said, you guys have to pretty much – that first half is going to be big for you guys. Mm-hmm. If you guys play good those first 2 quarters, it'll help you like if you get ahead or – honestly, I can't even say you got to keep it close because the main thing is with Golden State in that third quarter. That's when they put it on. That's what they always create that separation in that third quarter. But, I mean, you guys will have the home court advantage. I mean, you guys have been playing great defense. You know, Clay's been struggling. So, you know, hopefully for you guys, you know, hopefully you can keep him struggling. I mean, but once he figures that out, it's going to be hard for you guys to overcome that, especially with Steph not shooting that great but still putting up the points. But it's going to be interesting to see, man. Like I said, I think there's going to go 7. I'm looking forward to some great basketball in this finals.
I would like to, you know, it would be nice if they could, the Celtics could close out 6 on the home court. But, you know, they've shown they're battle tested and can win that game 7 if necessary. But let's take this one game at a time, you know?
Yeah, it's gonna be great to see. It's a lot riding for, I don't want to say a lot riding, but opportunity for some legacies to be cemented. On Steph Curry's side, if he wins, I mean, he'll be tied with LeBron. That means he'll have 2 by himself. Then I'll have 2 with KD. As dominant as LeBron's been, he's been one of the people that changed the game during our I won't say lifetime, but during our later years of watching NBA basketball. And then probably cement him in the top 10, even though I probably think he's there now. But that top 10 is going to be harder and harder to negotiate for people's top 10 now if he wins another one. Then you got Tatum on the other side, opportunity to prove, he's the next up-and-coming superstar, even though I think he is. But, it's hard when you don't have a championship. Sometimes you just need that championship just to, get that monkey off your back. So, I mean, this opportunity. Yeah, this is an opportunity for him to cement that, go down in Celtic history. And then, he's like 25 now. So he's got a lot of basketball left ahead of him. So
less than that. I think he's 23.
Oh, damn. He came in at 18, right?
Yeah.
18, 17?
He just turned 24.
Oh, yeah. Oh, so, yeah, he's got another 10 years. but you want to definitely get it out now.
Yeah, you can't let opportunities slip by, right? I mean, guys say that all the time. They thought they'd be coming back, again and again, and then some guys never make it. I mean, look at Dan Marino. I mean, I know it's a different sport, but he got the Super Bowl his rookie year. You thought, wow, this is what it's like, and he never went back. So you never know what's going to happen. Anything can happen. So when you get there, you got to capitalize, and this is a spot where the Celtics need to capitalize.
Oh yeah. So I'm definitely looking forward to these next games. Next game is on Wednesday. So I hate that they put the game so far apart, though. I feel like it's
yeah.
I understand they want to give some players some rest and give players travel time between games, but I feel like it's almost a whole week without a game.
Yeah, it's the multiple days in between I think is unnecessary. They could have easily could have went Thursday, Saturday. And if you want to give them an extra travel day, then you go Tuesday, Thursday again. So I don't know why they did this where you get the 3 days off, but the next two games are a day apart in Boston.
Maybe they do it just to time it out on the weekend to try to get the NBA viewing schedule on the weekend
I guess.
To get more views. But I mean, who knows? And then in other news, in the NBA, the Lakers get their head coach. I don't think this is going to help them out much. I mean, we talked about it before. I still think they're going to have to move some pieces, move Westbrook, but it doesn't seem like the Lakers are looking to do that. I also see they signed Rasheed Wallace as an assistant coach. Maybe they do that to help Anthony Davis, but it seems I don't know if Rasheed Wallace is going to be the person that's going to be able to get to Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I think I actually don't know what the Lakers are trying to do. It looks like they're probably trying to get a younger coaching staff in there that's more relatable to the players, I guess. But as long as LeBron's there, I don't think it really matters who. And this is no shot at Darvin Ham. I just don't think it really matters while he's there. You saw it in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
He Spoelstra turned out obviously to be one of the best coaches in the NBA. But while he was there, he was just getting overrun left and right. I mean, so I think we'll see. Maybe Rasheed, like I said, Sheed could get to that. Anthony Davis. I think he's actually probably a good asset for him. But other than that, I don't think it really matters.
Yeah, I mean the West is pretty much loaded. I mean it's going to be a fight for them. So we're gonna see what happens. But I mean, speaking of LeBron, he finally hits the billionaire mark. I feel like he hit that a while ago. They just announced it now.
I know
with all the stuff he has going on. So I'm looking forward to seeing. Since he's the first, I think we're gonna see a lot more coming up within the next years. A bunch like a domino effect, just because there's so much money in the NBA now. All these players have a bunch of different avenues where they can make money. Some even more outside of what they're making right now in the NBA. So especially for the new up and coming stars in the NBA.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you see some of the cash these guys are making with the Supermaxes now. I mean, you're looking at a $270 million deal here for 5 years. So it's going to happen quicker and quicker with some of the better players.
Yeah, because soon there's going to be a Supermax going to be like 500 million.
I know.
And then, which is going to be crazy, especially with these NILs. So, I mean, they're going to be making money from before they even get to the NBA for some.
Yeah.
And then also in the NBA, we had the Utah Jazz coach. He resigns. That means there's a chance your boy Donovan Mitchell is going to be out of there. So, I mean, we're going to have to wait and see, man. Hopefully, we get another spicy NBA offseason. But I'm not sure what they do. I'm not sure where they go as far as coaching. And I feel like people don't want to coach in Utah, man. It's Utah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's they got a decent team, so it shouldn't be a bad place to coach. I think the ownership is fine there. That's typically what coaches are looking for these days, right? I mean, obviously you want to win. They're a perennial playoff team. We know that they're frauds a little bit here, so
Yeah, in the playoffs.
maybe they break it up or something, or maybe you see the right coach to come in and mix it up a little bit. So I thought Quinn did a good job, but you could tell he was kind of wearing down there at the end. He looked pretty distraught in some of those final press conferences.
Yeah, kind of like feel like he's falling on deaf ears.
Yeah.
Feels like they need a new voice in our locker room to get to some of those players. Like you said, a great team can put it together in the playoffs, but they did have some tough matchups. But for me, I just wonder if that means Mitchell might leave, because he's been spending a lot of time in New York. So
everyone spends a lot of time in New York, Rich.
Hey, you got to keep hope alive as a Knicks fan. So right, and on the MLB, not too much here to cover. Your boy Joe Girardi got fired from the Phillies, stinking it up. They thought they thought he would have him more in a higher position as far as a division. Right now, they're like sitting at 500, close to 500. But I think they did win 6 in a row. That's unfortunate. But other than that, the Braves, they start winning some games. They're back almost at 500.
They are. They're 28 and 27 now.
Oh, so yeah. I mean, they had a 5-game. I think they won 5 or 6 straight too. And then,
yep.
I mean, Yankees still doing what they do, holding on the first spot. The Mets actually are like a game or two up on the Dodgers. So I mean, it's not too much going on in baseball.
No, it's been fairly quiet. I mean, for things are going, like you said, the Yankees keep winning. The Red Sox have gotten it back to 500. They're playing some decent baseball. The AL East is strong. I mean, you got the Blue Jays and the Rays, both above 500. Outside of that, the AL is pretty weak. I mean, the Astros again are doing their thing down there in Houston, and the Twins have been pretty good for the most part this year. Everyone else is under 500. I mean, they're just beating each other up. The Angels have lost 11 in a row. They're getting pounded. Mike Trout has gone 26 at bats without a hit or without getting on base. So his average dropped from like 330 to 275. It's hurting my fantasy team. So
I remember those days.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's the AL is kind of a little bit of a mess right now, to be honest.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're just as I said, hopefully it'll pick up for some of these teams. Some of these teams have playoff aspirations. See if anybody could create some separation, or if it just stays how it is now, as far as the top teams being the top teams. But I think normally it gets a little heated or spicier as we get closer to the playoffs, because teams are fighting for the position. So
yeah, I think you kind of start to weed out some of the bad teams here towards the end of June, early July, and then the late summer months bring on the pennant races.
Oh yeah, and looking forward to seeing what they do for the All-Star game, because I feel like the MLB's trying to make it better. I feel like they've been doing a better job each year. Attention and eyes to the MLB All-Star weekend. So
yeah, I think it's starting to really hit all over. NBA is, I think they're kind of ahead of the game a little bit. They've kind of turned theirs into almost like a glorified dunk contest. But they have the All-Star weekend now. They're trying to figure out how to make the side events more appealing for the pros. The NFL is looking into what they can do. That's always been the toughest one, because you don't want to put on the full pads and hit and do all that, but you can't really play football without that. So I think the NFL is really looking into how to amp up the Pro Bowl, and the MLB is kind of, ever since the what was it, the tie games fiasco, they've really been trying to again modify things too, so that we it's a little more entertaining.
Yeah, I wonder if NFL did like a celebrity game, a celebrity flag football game, if that would draw some more attention to it.
Maybe, yeah, I could see that.
but you never know.
You never know.
Because you got to get the people to play and not.
You said that's the hard part.
Yep. But I mean, I think if you got like some older NFL stars like Jerry Rice or I'm sure Brett Favre would do it. To do like a flag football celebrity game, and then you get a few celebrities in there like I don't want to say like The Rock, but I feel like some of those people, the players that the people that you really need to draw them in. I mean, it's going to cost you a lot, but I feel like the NFL has deep enough pockets to make that happen.
Yeah, I think they can.
Then on the NHL, we got the games going on right now. I mean, the Rangers, they surprised everybody. They're up 2-1, should have been up 3-0 on the Lightning, but Lightning hit one. I won't say at the buzzer, but kind of at the buzzer. Yep, pretty close to the buzzer. I mean, right now, I mean, we're gonna have to. I mean, if they keep playing the way they're playing, I mean, they got a fighting chance, man. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens.
Yeah, I think they've really surprised this Tampa Bay squad. I feel like Tampa Bay thought they were just going to come in and roll them over, but this young New York team is really fighting to get back to the cup. What's the vibe like in the city?
I mean, everybody's excited, man. Especially if you're a hockey fan. The one thing that's going right in New York right now, outside of the Yankees, but I feel like people. I don't think people really have high expectations. They're just enjoying the moment right now. But I'm looking forward to seeing what they could do. Like you said, young team. I wasn't really expected to get this far. You know, hopefully this isn't like the Knicks season, the last season where they made the playoffs. People were expecting a lot this coming year, then we didn't get in the playoffs. So hopefully they can continue the momentum and keep it going.
Yeah, no, that would be, you never know. Again, this is another thing, right? Just like we talked about earlier, Celtics. You just never know what's going to happen with your team. So when you're on the precipice, and if you can get there and do some damage, you got to do it.
Yeah, most definitely. On the other side, I mean, we got Colorado pretty much making light work of the Oilers. They're up right now 3-0. They're up right now 1-0 game 4. So I'm probably expecting them to put them away. I mean, this team has just been dominating everybody. They've been playing pretty much in the playoffs. Probably one of the favorites to win it out of the 4 teams left. Just the way they've been playing, offense and defense. So I'm looking forward to seeing how whoever gets past out of the Rangers and the Lightning to see how they're going to match up against this Colorado team.
Yeah, I mean, the Colorado team they're a wagon. I think we were saying it from the beginning here. They led the league in points. They're steamrolling. Was probably the second best team in the NHL and the Oilers right now, and they're really finding their groove. So I don't know how well they'll match up with the Rangers if the Rangers to make it. Tampa's probably more
prepared for them. Yep.
Prepared, or could probably handle them better, but you never know. I think that's the one good thing about a young team is that the memory isn't there. They don't have any other experience. So just go in and just go to town. Yeah,
they're just playing on blind faith without any care in the world, nothing to lose, no expectations. So. Which is fun to watch, kind of like the Grizzlies team. If they would have had Ja Morant, would have been I think it would have been a more interesting outtake, in the playoffs. But like I said, we're gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Yep. The Bruins fired their head coach this afternoon.
How you guys feeling about that?
They should have fired the GM and maybe Cam at president. I think the front office decisions have been questionable in terms of signings and drafting. But it seemed like he was probably a fall guy. I don't know. I think he was the least of their concerns, unless he's pretty hard on. He's pretty not hard. He's pretty open about how things are going, especially with the media and everyone. So I don't know if maybe some of the older tenured players kind of got sick of it, but I didn't think this was the right move to be honest.
Well, where would you like to see the team go and during the off season? I mean, you guys pretty much got one of the best centers and left and right wing. So
yeah, well, the problem is, the Patrice is going to be 37 or 38. So he's got, if he even plays next year, he's probably got 1 or 2 years at the most. The problem is not drafting well, there's no one really to come in there and take over, and frontline centers are tough to get. You can't just go sign them in free agency because everyone wants them. It's like a good point guard, right?
Yep.
So they need to get younger, obviously, with Patrice and Marshawn getting a little bit older. And you're starting to see that on the back end. McAvoy, they got a young core on the defense, and the goalie Swayman is young. So just got to get younger on the offensive side of the puck, and then they gotta make some good depth signings, which they haven't done in the past 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, but I feel like you guys are always in the mix, especially when it comes to playoff time. So,
and that's
sure.
that's why I think I don't think the coach is the problem, because he's kind of had to make lemonade with the lemons that he was given, and he's done a great job. So I think they've been knocked out of the playoffs because they've just run into better teams.
I feel like with the right coaching staff, and a few adjustments here and there, maybe a spark of young talent, bring out some of the best from some of these older guys to help you guys get right back in the mix.
Yep.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know y'all missed it. Got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right, so this is another one where I didn't do the cooking, but I want to get your take on this. So again, we're just coming back from North Carolina. As far as Southern style dishes, Rich, what's one that you may have been surprised that you actually liked, and then I'll give you my take.
Surprised that I might have liked?
Yeah, something that is really only made in the South, and you went down there and maybe you had a dish and you were just surprised, like something we can't get up here, and like something like grits or something like that. But is there anything that really kind of surprised you?
So I this is not really a Southern dish, but I'm gonna get a little freaky with it, right? So I was surprised that alligator wasn't that bad. Okay. Down in New Orleans. That wasn't really bad, if I had to say something that surprised me. But that's not really considered a Southern dish.
Well, you don't get it up here.
But I feel like most other normal Southern dishes, like my family's either cooked or I've learned about, or I've tried. Like I've tried chicken feet. I don't know how people like that. But then other dishes, I mean, grits. That's like a staple standard.
Yep.
Among my family. That would be the only one I would say that surprised would be the alligator, but that's not really a Southern dish.
All right, so mine has been, and just reaffirmed again on this trip, was fried green tomatoes with pimento cheese. It's something
that's another good one that you really don't have often. Yeah, that's a good one too.
And we don't have it up here, and I don't really like tomatoes. But for whatever reason, when it's a fried green tomato and you toss a little, chipotle mayonnaise or whatever sauce they put on top of that, remoulade sauce, and then a little pimento cheese, and it's actually delicious.
Well, if you think about it, it's kind of like the tomato and mozzarella one, but just fried.
Yeah, but even with the caprese, I don't really love the tomato part of it.
But I think the tomato has to be like firm,
crisp.
Yeah, before otherwise it's not really enjoyable.
Yeah. I think for fried green tomatoes, I think it's just a little more. I think there's more leeway, like you said. I think with a caprese, with a raw tomato, I think you need to have it very crisp and good. Whereas, I think you can kind of get away with a little with the frying of the tomato.
Oh yeah, most definitely, because the frying is going to harden it a little bit. It's going to get a little crispier on the outside. So, but that's definitely one that's one of those that you don't get to have often. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then what would you guys drink that down with?
All right, so this is separate from that, but I just got there's a brewery up in Maine called Barreled Souls, just outside of Portland, and probably had, I don't know, a ton of their beer, and it's they have basically, in my opinion, it's either really, really good and amazing, or it's like one of the worst beers you ever had. And it's a split, and you know it immediately. It's not one. I've never had a beer from them where you're like, oh, that's okay. It's either, God, that was awful, or man, that beer was great. So one of the things that they do every year is they have a big stout release. It's their Stay Puft series,
Mhm.
and they're really delicious. Every one I've ever had has been good, but they did this year for the release they have a peanut butter Stay Puft. So basically it's a peanut butter stout. They had a little marshmallow fluff and peanuts, and it comes in at 12%, and it was actually delicious. They did a great job on this one. Really get that peanut butter flavor out of it. It's a little on the sweet side, but not like overbearingly sweet.
Okay.
So yeah, I just felt like they did a good job with this one. So I'd probably give it an 8.5.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's a staple right there.
Yeah. No, they did. So this one, the Stay Puft series, they usually do pretty good. They had a couple different varieties this year. They did a blackberry jam that I got, and then they did a couple of bourbon barrel aged that I didn't get. But overall, I thought it was a great beer. It was, I think, a little bit better than last year's version. But yeah, it was delicious.
So would you say that's one of the best peanut butter based ones you ever had?
This is probably the best peanut butter stout I've ever had. Yes.
Nice. Would you get a little freaky with it and mix that one with the jam one?
I don't. That's actually, I got one of each left. I mean, that's not a bad idea.
That popped in my head. Maybe
like a peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, like about a PB and J stout.
It's not a bad idea to try.
Not sure what to call it though. I think you got to call it something better. I think PB and J sounds corny. Like maybe you got to.
It does, yeah.
You can't say, yeah, let me get a PB and J.
Yeah.
Then that's JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then for this week, just some stuff I caught up on. I mean, you got The Staircase, still watching it. Not gonna lie, man, it's getting my interest now. Speaking of my interest,
You're in?
Yeah, they went from the husband did it to now something else did it. Now it could possibly be somebody else. So I don't know, man. I didn't see the documentary like you did, so I'm sure you know the outcome. But the way this is unfolding, man, it's looking like I think he got out, but the way it's looking, man, it's giving us a lot of who done it now. So I'm interested to see how this ends up. I think there's like episode 8 coming up, so definitely something you could check. It starts off kind of slow, but it's definitely picking up now. It's getting kind of crazy with all this stuff going on too. So
okay. And
then finish The Outer Range. That's the show that is by the producers of Yellowstone. Pretty much about a guy that's living on a ranch. And he just discovers some stuff on his ranch, kind of about the stuff. It's pretty much his journey of the discovery of the stuff he discovered. I don't want to give it away what he discovered because it's kind of like the whole point of the show. But there's only eight episodes. The 8 episodes kind of, I want to say, kind of like a cliffhanger. They don't really, everything's pretty much open-ended. Some stuff that as you watch through the season, you kind of predict on early on. Well, like midway through probably. But I like the way they put it together. But it still leaves a lot of open-ended questions of what's to happen based off of some of the stuff they discover and some of the things you find out about certain people, of how it gets from A to B, so to say, in the there's some of the stuff they show in the season. Don't want to give it away.
Okay.
And then outside of that, I mean, we had The Boys. They had the first 3 seasons on Amazon Prime.
You won't believe this, Rich, but I watched season 1, episode 1.
Oh man, bro, so how did you not like it or like it?
I loved it. So,
that's great.
So I'm in.
Because it gives a I feel like a reality check to superheroing.
Yes.
So it touches like.
Can I ask one question?
Yeah.
Because I may have watched season 3, episode 1 for a little bit before realizing what I was doing. Why are there so many head explosions? Why are heads exploding all the time?
Well, so in season 3, episode 1, the other head explodes because the dude goes inside the other dude's joint, and he like goes big again. But some of it's not head exploding, some of it's like bodies exploding.
Well, either one.
Well, yeah, I guess that. But that's the thing. I think that's the reality of a superhero. And like, if some of these people have such superpowers, there's going to be a bunch of casualties. Like even when you watch cartoons and you see them fighting the bad guys, they're running into buildings, but they're not showing you all the people that was in the buildings or people that were standby when stuff happens. So I think that's kind of cool. Sometimes
Yeah,
it's kind of funny. Kind
I
of
just thought it
funny
was kind
too.
of funny. Yeah.
Oh yeah, when he was holding his girlfriend's hand and homeboy just ran by her.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah, yeah.
that was hilarious.
Then her intestines are just sitting there.
Yeah, and he's holding her dead arm in his hand.
Yeah.
That was just hilarious. That was the thing that got me. I was like, oh man, I got to check out, see what else the show's about. But you definitely get a lot of that. I mean, it has a lot of good story. But it is also like when you watch it, it makes you think of like DC, the DC verse, so to say,
Yeah.
like Batman, Superman. And it's crazy how they're doing a much better job with this than DC does with the movies, which is crazy. If the DC movie verse was as good as this show, even not to the like the comedy, like some of the action is good. So I mean, it's crazy how much of a, I don't want to say it's like a ripoff, but I don't know what the terminology is for it. When they do like like an imitation of a show or of something else, that this such a good job that they're doing with this. But it's definitely one of Amazon Prime's best shows. I'm looking forward to the upcoming episodes. I think they're dropping like one a week, like one a Friday. So it's gonna be annoying because we gotta wait to get all the episodes. But they did put out the first 3. But it's good. You'll enjoy it because you got like 2 seasons to watch before you even get to the third. By the time you get to the third, you can just binge watch it straight through.
Yep. No, you're right.
And then we had Stranger Things. They put 7 episodes out. We kind of get the origin of the Upside Down, so to say. But I mean, I don't want to give anything else away. I don't know if you started watching it yet.
3 episodes in.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean.
So we just saw the end of the last episode was when what's the girl, the redheaded girl there? Mac, is her name Mac? I forget.
Mac or Maggie, something like that.
Oh yeah. So she's just saw the clock. So that's where we are right now.
Yeah, so you kind of get the origin all behind that. Some more backstory on 11, and then I don't understand why they said it was bad though. It was alright. I didn't think I understand what some of the critics were saying that they felt like it was too horrifying, or I don't know what they were trying to say. But I'm not gonna lie, some of the kids, you could tell it's time for them to end the series because some of them you can't believe they're still in like elementary school. Some of these kids, the way they look.
They're in 9th grade. I mean, Mike's in 9th grade. Those kids are in 9th grade, but yeah, they're starting to look a little older. That's for sure.
Yeah, but definitely looking forward to the second half of the season. We're not getting that till like July. So I just hope we get more action come the second half based off some of the stuff you learn about towards the ends of like episodes 6 and 7 of this season.
Yep.
And then outside of that, I'm trying to see what else. There was watch the Ambulance. It was okay. Not something I really recommend. I think the ending was kind of I don't say stupid, but pointless. Like I said, I don't want to give it away, but it's not really a happy ending, which defeats the purpose of the movie. You can't rob a bank and for it not to be successful.
Right.
Like what did I just watch?
Yeah.
But like I said, I don't want to really give it away. It's a lot of stuff in it that was kind of like unrealistic, but it felt like they just threw a bunch of. It was a Michael Bay movie, so I felt like it was a bunch of how he does big action, explosions, bunch of stuff happening. But I felt like it kind of doesn't do the movie any justice, especially when you see the ending. Just like that's it. Overall, I'll probably give it like a 6.2 out of 10.
Okay.
Not something you'll watch once, but you probably won't go back to. Like one of those things, that'll be on like TNT. You'll pop it on, check it out, but after that, you probably pretty much won't go back to it.
Right.
And then before I get into this, how did you rank Top Gun?
I haven't seen it yet.
The first one.
How would I rank it?
Yeah.
Like on a 1 to 10?
Yeah, like is this like what was the big deal about Top Gun 1?
It's one of those cult classics. That's all it is. The original Top Gun. I was talking to someone else about this. I think I've seen the whole movie, but I've watched it in bits and pieces. I mean, I'd probably give it a 6. I just, it doesn't, somewhere in, 6.1 maybe, I don't know. It just
Hmm.
it doesn't really do it for me. I can see why some people, like, have gotten into this cult classic, and you got fighter planes and guys doing tricks and all that good stuff. And it's something with, I don't know, something with some of these movies, like, where you have, especially like in the Air Force or whatever, you got, a guy trying to teach someone how to do something, and he's kind of
Hmm.
hard on them, and blah blah blah, and I don't know, people just are drawn to that, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, it doesn't do it for me. I haven't seen the new one yet.
Yeah, man. Somehow I stumbled upon this new one. I really don't remember the first one. Like you said, I remember bits and pieces of it, but like when you watch the second one, I feel like it's not really, like, it's short. Despite it being, like, 2 hours, I still
Yeah.
feel like the story is short. Like they bring him back to train these people. He goes back to train them. They do like one little small mission. In my opinion, it didn't seem like a difficult mission. Just I don't want to give it away like what they had to do, but they obviously had to strike a target. They hit the target. Then all of a sudden, now they fight against a few other jet fighters. But it's not like, it didn't seem like crazy impossible odds. But I also see how it was a big budget movie because of a lot of the stuff was done without like stunt doubles. They did from what I'm hearing, it seemed like all the actors had to learn how to actually fly, jet fighters, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I'm sure that was expensive. They had to pay for fuel and all that stuff. But overall, I thought it was okay. It's probably one of those movies too. You watch once, probably won't go back to, just because the first one is a sequel to the second one. Tom Cruise, you got to go give his movies a try. Even though I still think some of his best movies were movies that weren't like the big budget ones. Like I still think Tomorrow World or whatever it was.
I know the one you're talking about. I can't remember the name, but yeah, I know the one you're talking about.
I feel like that was one of his most recent best movies. Even compared to the damn Mission Impossible, that they're coming out with another one because they put that preview in the movie before the movie came on. But I mean, overall, it's probably one of those six, between the 6.5 out of 10. Just not one of those. It didn't impress me, man. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
I hear you. I'm not surprised.
But like I said, definitely if you're a huge Top Gun fan, you probably enjoy it way more than I did. You get to see some of the old, the previous characters in the movie, and the first one that they have in the second one. But like I said, it didn't really impress me, man. Just was it seemed simple, like easy. Like it didn't seem like it was I don't want to say well written, but it didn't seem like it was like they didn't really need to do a sequel to this based off the storyline.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's getting a lot of pub right now. I think everyone's kind of, I don't know if it's also part of the nostalgia, but yeah, I'm kind of with you on this one.
Yeah, man. Another big budget Tom Cruise movie that's going to get a lot of hype. He's holding it down for some of the old action heads. So
Hmm.
that's pretty much it, man. I don't got anything else.
That's all I got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.